sound great. The mic check. It's great.
I'm waiting for it to go live.
Okay.
Okay, just stop. Just leave it like that. I'll tell you when.
Sound the voice and everything?
We in there.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
sound.
Shalom, Shalom. Yeah, we are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory.
Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that is doing this work
Whoever
in truth
talking,
and
just point it
sincerity,
to whoever talking.
risking their lives and their freedom to do
Whoever
so.
talking, just
Now
let it
more so
spit
than
on.
ever. And to
Keep it on
the
him
scattered
while you
elect
talking.
that are scattered around the four corners of the earth
Yeah,
among the
talk.
heathen nations that
Keep it
look
right there.
like the heathen nations,
I'll let it go.
and to the few aqua that are listening and learning,
I'll tell you when to move.
we give a sincere shalom and
No. I get it.
F you to Esau.
That's right.
Esau does not want to be responsible
Daddy.
for what he has done. So what brought this was I got this article from about DeSantis signing the bill banning woke training into law. And I'm gonna read some of this article, and it says, "We are here today because we believe in education, not indoctrination," DeSantis said at the press conference Friday at Hialeah Gardens, which is a lie. The American education is not an education, it's an indoctrination because they're teaching you false history. And the problem with this woke thing, as they call it, is that when real history comes out, it doesn't favor them. History that they were very, very proud about and bragged about once upon a time. It's now coming back to shame them. Somebody get that. It should be shameful spewing. And give me 2 Thessalonians 2:8 to Bakusha real quick before I continue with this article.
I have something real quick for you.
What time?
Somebody got it first. You got the Thessalonians or what?
I got Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
And that's what the problem is. The shameful spewing upon the things that they did. You know, we knew that they were hanging and murdering us, but we had no idea that they were actually cannibal, that they were eating us.
Right.
You know, they were eating Judah, man.
And pickling us.
All right, and they were and making shoes and belts and tobacco bags on our women's breasts and just all these sort of insane things that they were doing, all in the name of Christianity and Jesus. They did this thing, and keep telling you these white Christian extremists are the most dangerous people the world has ever seen, and now they do not want their history to be revealed because they want to be looked at as white. But what did Jacqueline Bellora say? There was no such thing as white people. Anyone claiming to be to be a part of that by evolution or by biologically in any way is a fabricated lie. Those were her words, not mine.
That's right. These are Negro skin shoes right here. They made purses, cigar cases, back covers, and more from the skin of our ancestors. That's what the quote says under these shoes.
And they did the same thing to Gad.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to. They don't want this talked about or shown. Calling it CRT, critical race theory. No,
History.
it's
right.
critical race history.
That's right.
Right? So by not teaching it, you're not giving an education, Mr. DeSantis, Mr. Obama. You're giving an indoctrination. That's what you're doing. Right? You're guilty of the very thing that you're so supposedly complaining about, man.
They did it.
Right? Because these wicked deeds came with democracy. Did we read that 2 Thessalonians?
I got it.
Bring it out, brother.
This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It said, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth."
In the mouth of the prophets, man. Because all these other build-ups about the genders and all this other stuff, all that was a distraction. But we're the real focus of these bills and this silencing of the voices of the people, man. We're the real targets of it, but they don't want to admit that or talk about it openly.
Right.
All right.
See, when Clinton came out with the female one, see what that being had an information war, and we're losing. She
Yeah.
said that, and that was a very heavy statement because Esau is losing the information war due to the fact of the men of the Lord. This is 1 Timothy 6 and 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Everything that we're dealing out here is their
Pseudoscience.
That's right.
And pseudo history.
There you go.
All right. Pseudoscience and pseudo history. Falsified.
That's it.
I got scripture for you. This
You
is
got
second,
one too, Elder?
this is second Ezra's, this is second Ezra's 16, I'm starting 62. Yea, the Spirit of Almighty Yahweh, which made all things and searches out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he knoweth your inventions and what ye think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore the Lord exactly searched out all your works, and he will put all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
There it is, man. And that's it. That's exactly what's happening. Their own sins are their accusers. I mean, it's all, and they're it's still coming out all over YouTube as well. But you know, you can only say and do so much.
Right.
TikTok and other platforms are lighting their ass up.
Oh yeah.
And they're ashamed and they're hurt and they're suicidal and they're complaining and they basically don't want to hear it anymore.
Right. They come,
And
when you hear them on the mainstream news saying this woke thing, and they're complaining about this woke. First of all,
And
why
this
would
is your history.
Yeah, right.
This was your forefather, and you know, it's like earlier today, it was said that it wasn't that long ago, man. You know, you got people, men and women, that are in their 70s and 80s. They were the little children in a lot of these images that we see about people being burned and hung and killed. And you can actually use facial recognition to show them. And when you know what you'll find that a lot of these people are related to a lot of people that are in office.
That's right.
Or that are in Hollywood. All right? I actually did a lesson with this book, Without Sanctuary, some years ago. And I mentioned that about maybe 3-4 years going back. And I said that, and they put in, that was the first time I ever seen an age restriction put on the video. They didn't delete the video, they sent me the message, this video has been age restricted.
Yeah,
All right,
they did.
because there
just-
you go, you can see, there you go. Though that's probably some Karen right there that you looking at in that image. Click that out the way.
I'm trying, but it's just Satan just playing games.
Yeah, they get mad. Yeah,
Quick,
I got the click that picture.
there you go.
right there.
You can clearly see that with their daughters and their children and their wives.
Smiling.
They're smiling at the torment, burned, charred, dismembered body of some poor, unfortunate Jake who happened to be who got beaten and tortured and killed, and then often eaten.
That's right.
This by them.
This is very frustrating because I've seen a lot of people see, especially through the cameras, horrific situations in people, whatever. 99% of the time, you know what majority from Jake to heathens that are not Edomites, when they see something that's horrific, they'll see it and they'll be like, ugh. These motherfuckers like,
Hey, somebody. Hey, you're right.
They get off with this shit, man.
Hey, you're right.
Look, they smile, they laugh like this is a fucking great time, man.
You're right.
Yeah, some man just screamed in agony, got hung, beaten, and burned, and they're happy about it.
Hey, you got the camera.
And they were Christians. A lot of the time, this was done right after church. So the problem is the extreme Christianism is the extreme Christians in America that were protected by democracy. All right, because none of these people went to jail. You have their faces. You can trace these people down today with modern technology.
They put them on
And yet
postcards.
none of them have been accosted by the law.
They chase down the old ass Nazis.
Exactly. And we're supposed to forget about this, but I bet you they're not trying to take Nazi history out of the textbooks in the schools.
Oh no.
And not at all.
They made postcards out of this shit.
Yeah, they did. Sent them back and forth.
And-
As a matter of fact, that book without sanctuary, most of those images are postcard images
God.
with the signatures and the addresses and the names of who it went to.
So here it is. You
Here's
got
one
you got
right
the
there.
address, the names, the everything.
What's
Oh
on the
shit.
screen?
Yeah, and I actually used that one in the video because the guy says that's me on the right with my arms crossed.
And then my father, my father's from Alabama, and he used to tell me about the stories of how Esau used to get down when he was a kid. My father, like 64 years old, he said that he was still dealing with that. That's why my grandfather, my grandmother, a lot of Jake left from Alabama.
That's how
because
my
they
mother
were
ended up
still
being
dealing
born
with
in
that
Chicago.
shit. Yeah.
Because my grandfather and his brother, they faded some Edomites that was throwing rocks at them and stepped on their side of the tracks.
God.
And they put the flops on them and then they stuck them both on trains and sent them to Chicago.
Can I bring out a scripture?
All right, to get it because the lynch mobs were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The definition.
Go ahead, brother. And I know you got some, and the elders still got some too.
So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12. Now, before I read it, we understand that Job 9:24 says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? So they're ruling, because it says that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right, the basis of men, like in every way, especially morally.
Default character.
This basis of men, which is Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, who is in power right now and ruling wickedly. Now, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and 12. So it says, therefore, this is the mindset of the wicked, right? It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. So whoever the righteous is, which off the back is the Israelites, but it's the elect of the Israelites first and foremost, because the Bible lets you know that the elect of the nation of Israel is going to return to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and Yahweh Shem Yahushua's righteousness, right? So when we return from this present evil world and all the lies that we've been told, and we turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then those that's in power, the wicked, we're not under their vibration anymore. So they like, oh, okay, well, let us lie and wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, right? So it says, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth, so he, the righteous, upbraided us, the wicked, with our offending the law. All right, they offend the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, and objected, so we, the righteous, also objected, it says, to their infamy, the transgressions. Oh, because it says we object. Infamy means extremely bad reputation, public reproach, or strong condemnation as the result of a shameful, criminal, or outrageous act. All these things that the elders are just showing up here of what they've done, these are all that they have an extremely bad reputation now for all of these things that they have done, for the result of their shameful, criminal, and outrageous acts that they have committed, all the atrocities that this devil has committed. All right, and then it says the result of shameful, all right, criminal or outrageous acts. Remind me of that scripture of the shameful spewing. All right, shall be something on their glory. All right.
Yeah, we just read that one. There'll be shameful spewing on their glory.
Exactly. Because of why? Their shameful acts. Because of their lies, their deceit, the transgressing of their education that they call education, but just like the elder is saying, no, that's misinformation.
Exactly.
Disinformation.
Complete disinformation.
And it's molding you to be like them. That's why it says, hey, when the
and accept everything that they've done,
exactly.
and accept unrighteousness, accept the fact that they don't have to give any recompense for anything that they could just say, I'm sorry.
Right.
All right. After you've gotten the advantage and gotten all the land, the power, the
all the
wealth,
riches,
and all the riches, and now you can just say, I'm sorry.
And don't make
Bye
it
now,
fair.
you know.
Don't exactly.
Don't restore
And it's
it.
okay. Hold on.
They don't want to acknowledge. Hey, me and Yashara was playing with Edomite last night on the Call of Duty.
Yep.
And it started. I don't know how I switched to this topic, but I mentioned what you talk about the Mexicans coming taking out jobs. I'm like, this they land.
Right.
He know this ain't they land. America's the greatest country on the planet. They sneaking up there.
It's in the
It's like they completely
Guys.
ignore the fact they stole this shit.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to accept that.
They don't
like,
see your side.
Well, we conquered it, so now it's ours. No, motherfucker, like you stole this shit.
I saw a video I actually did a lesson to where you had this little spoiled ass cracker on the boat. I might have sent it to you, Yashara. I might have sent it to you too. This little spoiled ass Edomite was on a boat in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
The glass bottom boats, and they take you out over the over the coral reefs, and you can see the great whites and the bull sharks and the nurse sharks and all the beauty and the glory of Yahweh Shem Shai. And this dude is mad because he wants to hunt, kill, and fish the protected species of fish. And he's back talking to us. He's talking shit to the captain of the ship, talking shit to his parents, to the other adults. They're telling him sit down. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to look at them. I want to hunt them. I want to catch them. You know, and he's like, and then the dude's telling him, man, you in Jamaica, you can't do what you want, man. He's a protect. We spent money to get on this boat. And I'm like, this little fucker, you didn't spend, your mama paid for you to be on this boat. You little spoiled bitch. They have no concept or no respect for other people's humanity or a life of any other form.
And they
It's
don't-
all about pleasing them and pleasing their own flesh.
And they don't like facts when they get caught up in shit. Another thing that came up, he wanted to make it. We told him Edom, now we ain't say Edom, of course, that they not the majority. So then he's going back and forth. No, we are this and that. And then I say, well, they classify Arabs as white people.
Somalians,
Cause they're right. No, check it out. Cause look,
Ethiopians, and they're clearly not white people.
no, that came up because he said Google it. Black people are only 7%. So like we don't take census, black people don't do that. Then I Googled Arabs counted as white, and the first article popped up. I forget that they call it the NEMA countries, which is North Africa and them Arabs. They all counted as white.
And the reason they try to do that because they're trying to
Inflate things up.
no, it's not only that. They're really trying to protect their lie about the Lord being white and the Israelites being white. That's where that whole North Africa and Mideast bullshit comes from, because they know that the Israelites were intermingling with all them Africans and mixing in with them, going down into Africa. So what they've done, they've taken the people of North Africa and I classified them as white. That's the real truth behind that. Ham was the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Because with that definition actually backfired on them, because that definition was really trying to support a white superiority, that by saying that these people are dark but they're really white. That's what they were really trying to say with that. A lot of people, but it backfired on them, right? Because that's the truth behind that definition.
That shit said on edge.
It's called a white something doctrine. I forget what it's called, but that's really what that definition was about. They're trying to say that the Negroes was a different dark race down in Africa somewhere, but these people, though they were dark, he was not the father of the Negroes, and it turned around and backfired.
Right. So don't like them facts.
He don't like the facts, and then when you do give him facts, he has perfect cognitive dissonance.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Especially when Jake called him out as bullshit. He really hates that.
You lost his man last night.
Mr. Savage.
Yeah, there's some sort of theory they call something white theory. I can't remember the name of it right now. And I'm gonna have to go find it and look it up and do another lesson on that subject matter. But that was the real reason behind that definition. They were trying to make a separation between the Negro and the African, because they were also trying to say that certain sects of Ham was white, even though they were dark complected. So I'm like, but you also said in white superiority, if you have one drop black
Yeah,
brothers. You
black
know, I mean,
brothers, right.
it's all a bullshit, man. But bring out what you had, Elder. Even
Okay, because what's going on right now with the Edomites is you're on trial, man.
That's
All right, and all your wickedness is being brought out before you get sentenced.
And just
That's
as you
right.
know, the Lord said, I stand up to plead and to plead with the people. People think plead is ain't too proud to beg. But you go into the Hebrew of the plead, it's actually a judgment. It's being they're in trial. This is judgment, and we're in judgment time. You got it.
That's it. It's Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." This Babylon here is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about America. You know. So it says, "There is no throne or Chaldeans." And this modern day Chaldeans is you Edomites, man. You elites, man. This is Egypt all over again spiritually, man. So it says, For thou shalt no more be called tender or delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the ribs. So you're being exposed, man. All your wickedness you've been doing is being exposed right now. You know, all right. Like I said, you're on trial right now before the Lord give you your judgment, man. But you're gonna have 1,000 years of slavery. And after you serve your 1,000-year punishment, the Lord's gonna just erase you, damn devils, period, man. So it said, verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. Your shame, you know, all the wickedness you've been doing.
That's right.
You know,
Everything they're doing is disinformation
Yeah.
to lessen the shame,
That's
and
it.
it's not working.
Right.
Go ahead.
At the time of your end.
yeah, because you know, I would say about 95% of the books that we use to bring out your history that you don't like were written by your own people, your forefathers. All right. So this is your history that they wrote down, and all of a sudden you want to ignore what your forefathers said before you.
That's it. And the beautiful thing about it is, who gives a fuck you got a problem with or not? The Lord's getting ready to pay you damn devils back for all your crimes, man, your wickedness, bro. This is verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord is going to come in his angelic force, man. You know, he's going to come back and completely annihilate you damn devils, man.
Like Thanos and Apocalypse all wrapped up in one. All right.
I am inevitable.
Stop him, man.
I got
But he been holding something for a while. What you got?
God, this Sirach 41, I'll start read 6 and 7. It says, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. It says, the children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his name's sake. And you have most of these houses in Babylon right now are divided. Like you have these white girls that so-called take our cause or stand with BLM and all do that shit because they're ashamed because they're being reminded of the atrocities that their forefathers did, all right, and are still basically it's still in existence. All this modern history, because I was basically pointing at the one sign that they have is America's basically their worldwide tour of democracy, and it talks about all their bombings since after World War II. So it says Korea and China, 1950 to 1953, Guatemala, 1954, Indonesia, 1958, Cuba, 1959 through 1961, Guatemala again, 1960, Congo, Laos, Vietnam, 61 through 73, so that was 12 years. All right, Cambodia, it says 1969 to 1970, Guatemala again, 1967, and
What's
19.
Guatemala doing to you? What the fuck Guatemala do to you,
What
man?
did any of those people do to them except they had merch, exactly.
Hey.
Keep reading that list over here.
All right, it says Guatemala 1967 to 69, Grenada 1983, the Lebanese in 1983 and 84, also the Syrians in some of those parts, Libya 1986, El Salvador 1980, Nicaragua 1980, Iran 1987.
These are all people of color, mind you. Continue.
This is modern history.
Yeah.
This is modern
We
history.
ain't going far back.
Hey,
Panama 1989, Iraq 1991, Kuwait 91, Somalia 93, Bosnia 94 and 95, Sudan
Yeah, that's the
1998, Afghanistan 98, Yugoslavia 99,
Yeah,
Yemen
yeah,
2002, Iraq 91 through 2003, Iraq again 2003 to 2015, Afghanistan 2001 to 2015, Pakistan 2007 through 2015, Somalia 2007, 2008, and again in 2011, Yemen 2009 through 2011, Libya 2021, Libya 2011 through 2015, Syria again for 2014 to 2015. So this is modern history that he's still
But
giving.
watch what's going on now, man.
Come.
But see, this is what you call white Christian
Democracy.
extremism, exceptionalism. Because what they want to do, what they want to do is they want to now all of a sudden Russia's the big bad boogeyman, but Russia did none of this, right? So literally that tolls in the that's probably a couple of 100 million people right there that died and perished, right? Because you had, I know in the Iraq War, you had 1 million people died alone in that.
Then you have his
Right.
You have Esau's his proxy armies. You have his he has small armies, his mercenaries,
Garrisons.
His garrisons. Then they do the will. They do his bidding too, but they're not named American. You know, but that's why you always they go to war with these.
That's through his policy.
Yeah, through his
That's
policy.
that. You grab that. Somebody grab that. Then when you hold something up.
Yes, sir. You got because like I said, and when they want to do stuff off of
Off grid.
off grid,
Yep.
you got Black Ops
Yep.
scenarios
Yep.
that's been bought and paid for. If you're caught, there's nothing. They deny you. But if he's successful, then guess what?
You get paid
You
in
get paid
compensation.
up.
That's those missions when they take your dog tags.
That's right.
But
Exactly.
When they ever start collecting up dog tags, we weren't here. We're not here.
But they show you.
That's a yeah.
They show you that.
You die over there.
Right.
They showed you that in the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They was hitman, but a lot of the contracts they was
Was all
getting
right.
was government contracts. Mr. They was government contracts. You know, and another thing, I knew a guy in the military, side note, and he said every time the planes leave, this a couple years ago, he out now. He said every time the planes leave, they left loaded and they always came back empty. So he was telling me, he was like, man, these motherfuckers, he said they always bombing something. He said, I don't know what the fuck they bombing. He said, but they fucking something up. They doing something.
left fully loaded.
And
Came
he
back
say
empty.
he say it's all throughout the day, all throughout the night. The planes leave full and they always come back empty.
Ammunition's always on the
If
front.
They
they-
let somebody have it, man.
They all throughout the day. He say ain't one a day on the
so
ship.
you got
He
things
ain't,
that are going on that's not even
that's
being
not even been
reported.
talked about.
You know,
Yeah.
so that list modern, and then a lot of shit happens not even being accounted for.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, you know, he wants no accountability for what he's done.
Okay.
All right, you know, and so you grab that somebody what you own.
I got Exodus 21:16 and Isaiah. So it's two pieces. This shit is Exodus 21:16. This was off of what the brother was saying. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Esau don't want to have an accountability now because of all the atrocities that have been brought to Israel on all kinds of levels. Not just the coming over here, but even up to today. They don't want to do it. Like you said, the history, the history.
And not only Israel, but the heathens as well,
Heathens
man.
as well.
Those are damn heathens, man. The world was created for our sake.
That's it.
Why you killing all our heathens,
That's
man?
right. I love my heathens, nigga.
Okay.
Our heritage.
You know what I'm saying? That's my inheritance. You actually
His verse says, you found in your hands. We still found in your hands as we speaking, man. You know, you let not us go to the house of the prisoners, as the scripture say.
And he not gonna let us go because if he let us go, it's gonna find out that this motherfucker been lying the whole
And
time.
that's why How Shai got to come back and
Yeah.
deliver us.
Yeah.
And like the brother was saying,
Where is it that anybody, them Israelis, why would they ever need a deliverer?
Right.
exactly.
They got the IDF, and they got America. They got the Iron Dome. They got 10 billion in welfare from all these different, you know, coming from here. What deliverers do they need?
It seemed pretty straight to me.
Come save me from my penthouse. Please. I'm so sorry. I need help.
Right?
Help me, please.
Right, with they kosher pig and lobster. Right?
But wait till I finish my hors d'oeuvres.
And the second part of that is like you said, they kids and whatnot don't want to be responsible for it. They don't want to hear it. They want to be they want to discard the whole history thing because of the accountability that they got to give. But the scripture says in Isaiah 14 and 21, 21, prepare a slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of his fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Come. So you know what? You bring out the Matthias, just hold something. You got another scripture, Elder?
Oh no, I had that Daniel 8:25.
Oh, okay. Well, you can go, well then go ahead and read it, and then Matthias read his, and then we're gonna play that short clip of that video, just like literally about a minute of it, and then I want to finish this article and whatever scriptures come out of it.
Daniel 8:25. Through his policy also, he should cause craft to prosper in his hands. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
And that's what going back to what what Bishop Rubaki was saying. You know, all these proxy wars. And playing both sides.
Show you in the video games.
Creating a proxy war because the government didn't play ball with him, didn't want to play with him. So I'm going to disrupt your country and put it in ruins and have your people have it implode. Then I'm going to come in and play the cleanup guy. But I'm clean of it because it wasn't us.
That's hate.
We didn't do it.
That's hate.
We're actually coming to help you. And what's that scripture says when he be the first to come help you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
Burn the house down and try to
Right,
put it
exactly.
out.
He's the one that lit the house on. You go back and you watch the damn security tape. He was the one.
Pouring the gasoline.
Right. Then he come kicking in the door, running out. He's the hero now.
Right.
You
It
know?
sounds like Haiti though. They went out there and set up puppet governments. Went out there. Oh, you don't want to act right? Okay, let's go sit and hit. Let's go assassinate your ass.
They show you. They show you that in the
And then
movie.
they showed it though. This last on the do-rap in Haiti. That it came out that those were American mercenaries.
Yeah.
They were those Americans.
Yeah.
They came over there and did that as a hit.
And
And guess what? That shit got swept right under the rug.
And then they
Right.
stopped talking about it
Yep.
because the Haiti president said no to. Haiti had 0 cases of the you know what.
Yeah.
Right.
0.
Of the call.
None. All right.
Stains in the vein.
Right.
It's
did.
you.
They had 0 cases.
0 calls.
So the president was like, no, we don't need it. You can keep that over there. We don't need your medicine. All right.
Coincidentally, he
and then
died.
after that, literally 2 weeks later, he was dead.
Yep.
And then a week after that, it was announced all over American media, that democracy was coming there with all the waters and the medicine that they needed. The whole democracy grenade was coming.
On top of that,
Right,
Hey.
exactly.
on top of that though, he said that we've been taking certain remedies, natural remedies.
And they came against that.
He said it's a plant that they have over there that protects them.
And then I heard some fruity small hat doctor say, well then if you get sick, then don't go to the hospital then. That's all I'm saying is that they don't need to go and strain on the system if you want to do natural and you want to do all that.
Trust me.
They don't want to put it straight in the system. They don't want to be part of it.
Exactly, they don't want to be a part of it, so leave them alone, man. All right, so that's just it, man. And then all the sickness and the death as a result of the medicine, they can't hide that anymore. It keeps coming out. Somebody put up a billboard in Times Square yesterday, and put them on blast. And it was like 29,000 something deaths from the not from the medicine. Not from the
disease.
not from the disease or the illness, but from the medicine and from the cure. Yeah,
The
exactly.
cure killing.
So exactly.
But
And
you
they
know-
were scrambling trying to take it down, but it was in Times Square, so it was all being blasted all across social media. Man.
The whole world.
And if they put up 29,000 and whatever, how many numbers,
10 times
then
that.
you could probably multiply that number times at least 3 or 4 to get the real number, man. Because we're talking about a worldwide thing, man.
They showed you in this in the cartoon The Incredibles how Esau really get down. The first Incredibles, it was a little Edomite. He ain't like that Mr. Incredible wasn't fucking with him. So when he got older, he started creating all the problems and then coming and swooping in like he was the hero. Like he was the
With
hero.
his technology.
And he was using his
pseudoscience.
pseudoscience.
Because he didn't have no real power.
Because he didn't have no real power, but he used the technology to use his power, but it showed you really how Esau get down. That's how.
Then he revealed his hand.
And then he revealed
Because he
who.
told him, remember what his little evil
Remember what you did?
Remember, I am your greatest fan.
Right. God. He's like, oh, that's you. Yeah, that's you. And then, but it also goes in because the scriptures say in his mouth his words are smooth as butter, but inwardly is drawn swords. And it show you how Esau, he act like he was cool with him, but deep down he wanted to kill him.
That's Esau,
You know?
the goat. But that's
He
him.
wanted to
That's
flex
his
on
MO.
him. Yeah.
He'll walk with you and stab you. He did it to this Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his MO, man.
Oh, can I get this real thing? Sirach 12 and 16, an enemy speaketh freely with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Right, and Esau is the biggest, what you call, the scriptures say, hey man, this dude is wiser than Daniel, man. All right, so it say he a cunning hunter. Hey, this dude hunts people. This dude hunts anything. Hey, this dude, he's gifted, man, this craft, man. This dude was made this way. So, you know, I mean, he turns everything into a weapon, and he strategizes in ways, you know, it's fucking bugged out, man.
That's the Revelation, the 6th chapter where it says he was given a great sword.
Con.
That's all he did. He was set up to just take peace from the earth, ultimately.
God, who else is it?
Who else exactly?
We just like the scriptures say, the earth is given. If not, where? Who is he? Like, if it ain't this dude, who is it? You know, you look at. Hey, they say the devil come not but to kill, steal, and destroy. And you look at the planet. Whose MO has been doing that?
Right.
Whose every land he touches, he steals, he kills, and he destroys it. And when he so-called leave, only thing that's left is ashes and dust and chaos, man.
Yeah, they call him the border of wickedness.
God.
Wherever he goes, that's where wickedness is. And then no matter, he tries to get you to be under that same vibration of wickedness, whether you directly about it or indirectly. He don't care. He don't care whether you directly about wickedness, directly about death, or indirectly about wickedness, indirectly about death. Whether you worship him directly or whether you worship him indirectly. He don't care. So he'll deceive and do all his deceptive ways and things to get you to be under his vibration no matter what. He can lie to you, all those things. He'll superimpose, you know, something good and, you know, peace and love. But really, it's all the opposite. What you got there?
That's why I say, you know, when you say when you depart from evil, you make yourself a prey. Because you ain't under his vibrational, now you're the enemy.
Yep, exactly.
That's right. That's why they say when
You're the bad guy. You're a hate group.
Yeah.
You know, you're a terrorist. You're, you know, all these bad things.
Yeah.
If you're not with death and wickedness.
Right. They tell you it's all for democracy. But so you can vote for your ruler, right? But meanwhile, what comes with that? All right, they liberate the women, and some air quotes liberate, you know, which makes them whores. All right, then they bring Saudi to the land. What Obama say? And it's perfect. Mr. Obama said what? If you wanted world aid, if you wanted assistance from America, you had to allow homosexual marriages. That was a quote that he gave, man. All right, democracy ain't about you having a ruler that you think is fair. It's about Esau spreading his vibration to you, man. What he said in Revelation,
because
that
you
was
know,
released for a seat.
because you know the whole thing about Michelle is very important. But
The devil released for a season to deceive the nations. That devil was Edom. He got out. His mission was the one thing: to deceive you, to follow after wickedness, man.
Yep. That's it.
Damn.
That's his MO, you know, to get you to be like him. See, when we're in the kingdom, we ain't gonna play no games with you and deceive you. We gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? This is righteousness. This what it is. This what you gonna be on. You ain't on this. This is the consequence. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no lying to you, deceiving you, to trick you to be about righteousness. Nah,
Grace spots.
No
grace spots.
Right. What you got, brother?
This
cue up that video.
Lamentation 4, I'm gonna read 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through into thee. Thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked. Like y'all saying, you being discovered, you being naked, being made bare. So everybody's seeing his sins and his wickedness. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. he will visit thy iniquities, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So we ain't going into slavery no more, and your sins have been discovered. Now everybody knows who the devil is. You know, even videos they even put with I forget that this lady, she just made a commercial. Dang, I just forgot her name. I'll send the video to you. About that wicked have been revealed. I made. It was a video I did. It was a commercial with a lady. They showing basically new order on the shirt.
Oh yeah. No, that was with Celine Dion.
Yeah,
and that wicked clothesline. You know, and, right, and the genderless shit, and all for little children.
Right.
But they've been revealed. It's a perfect time to, you know, play this clip. And yeah, Jacqueline by the Lord, man, I love this chick, man. And she go hard against Esau. And I actually, through a historian named Theodore Allen, is how I got turned on to Jacqueline by the Lord. And she picked up where he left off, and she, you know, I think she brought this information out first in 2016, and because no one in the world had ever spoke about this until she did. All right, and she brought it out, man. And then I found out that she was actually married to a Jake. No, so yeah, I was like, yeah, you know. But anyway. Yeah. Well, like the video I did with the pretty little
White
girl
people
saying.
did not exist before 1681.
Oh, there it is.
Again, white people did not exist on planet Earth until 1681.
That's right.
Number two, any claim that this group called white people, any claim that that group is rooted in biology or derived from genes or biology or is innate or is from nature is a lie. Third and final point. As a matter of foundational law, actually let me say it this way, white supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding as a matter of law. Now, I don't expect you to buy all that, to get all that, to believe all that, at least not now. But my job is to share with you the legal history that proves each of those three claims that I begin with.
You can stop right
So
there.
let's go.
She said, let's go. So basically, and she presented, and then it was 2014.
That's a Jake.
So I'm saying correct. She Jake.
Cause
And
and that's how raw the Lord is, man. Like you like Esau don't understand the true power of the Lord. Here it is. He had a Jake grow up in amongst them that look like them, that actually give a fuck about what's going on, made her wise in a bullshit, put the spirit on her to look into it, to boom, 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 to lay it on them, and she looked just like them.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, a two-edged sword. You giving out the truth and you look like them. So it's like, ouch, right?
The Most High's a man of war. So doing ambush.
Oh, Jane Kennedy. Yeah, her too.
She too, y'all.
Her too.
The Most High's he's a man of war. So he's into ambush.
But they've been chained. Yeah, this was
Spies.
This was a complete ambush because this fucked Esau up.
She a spy. She don't even know it.
This fucked Esau up, and then we got a hold of it.
Dun dun dun.
Right. You know, because now you have the time of day, the place, and the evidence of when they created this lie of whiteness, man.
Right.
And she provided all the evidence that you need. You can. It's called Birth of a White Nation. This was the first video of hers that I ever watched, and I was sitting there fucking amazed. I was like, you have. And I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to do that. And I would lift their ass.
You said, woo.
Because I was speaking, I actually kind of missed out on the shit because I did that, but she started going there trying to like acting like she was a 4-hour race or whatever. She's like, oh yeah, I'm a criminal justice lawyer and this, that, and the third. And I just, I ended up letting out some facts. But the one thing I hit on was that, it's really no such thing as the white and black thing. And then she just, based on those views, I don't agree. And we just stopped talking from there, man. Because that proved that she really wasn't for us. She was full of shit. She wanted to act like she was. helping this poor puppy that hurt it. Like, nah, man, y'all actually fucked over the earth. You're worse than anything on the face of the earth, man. You're not helping
Well,
anything.
they don't want to have no accountability.
Come on,
That's
man.
right there. Right, they're only gonna do so much now.
That's it.
Hey, this is my first day.
I said that the other day at work too, huh? That was funny.
But let me get back into this article.
That shit funny.
So back into this article with DeSantis, it says, with the flick of his pen, you know, I always talk about pale men with bald faces with neckties and ink pens. All right, they're the most dangerous people. You know, these white Christian extremists with the bald faces, the pale faces, and the ink pen. They're the most dangerous, terroristic individuals the earth has ever seen. All right, their history shows that's why they don't want to be talked about. All right, but it says with the flick of his pen, Governor Ron DeSantis signed the HB 7, known as the Individual Freedom Bill, into law Friday, banning school lessons or workplace training that could make participants feel discomfort or guilt.
Oh, man.
The bill bars any teachers or workplace training that our spouses promotes, advances, inculcates, or compels someone to believe a particular race or sex is morally superior, or an individual that can be inherently racist or sexist because they want to this false title that they've given themselves, this creation of whiteness. They want to always appear to be the good people, the pure people. All right.
They trying to get rid of slavery.
The truth of the matter is, it's like the brother said, Yaki said earlier. They're the basis of man, and one of their things is that morally they're the lowest. They have no morals.
Right.
All right. Because the Edomites are the only people I know that would gloat about winning a race to the whole world that they rigged. All right. You
We won.
rigged the race and handicapped everyone else in the race to ensure that you won. And then when you win the race, then you gloat and throw it back in the faces of all the people that you handicapped, how much of losers they are. That's their truth. This is what we're dealing with. This is what the world is dealing with.
That's
All
gonna
right?
make them. That's gonna. Hey, if they pass that in the law, they get ready to disbar the bargain.
In certain
Brother,
states, it's
Yes, a lot is getting ready to happen because this is really geared toward us.
Exactly.
Point blank, period. All this other shit is just a distraction.
Right.
Worrying about the alphabet lifestyles and the genders and that's bullshit. We're the real targets in this. The men of the Lord. And it says, we're here today because we believe in education, not indoctrination. And that's exactly what they teach. How are you going to teach that the Pilgrims came, that America was built? And that's it. Thanksgiving. And not tell when we all know what really happened at Thanksgiving.
show one ice cream and cake.
You know, and then we know what happened to the indigenous people when you wanted their lands. You see, they don't want history told, man. It says we believe an important component of freedom. Hold on. It says it also targets the teachings of critical race theory in Florida classrooms. So, what about critical race history, Mr. DeSantis? All right, fuck the theory.
What y'all do?
You know, we're talking about history here. What about critical race history? But that's okay. They can just come to my channel and learn. I'll make sure that all the children in Florida know the truth. Right?
2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel.
Nah, just for the others.
Bring it out, brother.
For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
That's right.
So he's the good guy.
Love.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Right. But he wrapping his head to cover his horns.
Exactly.
Right.
It says, where was I at?
Hey, because
Now let me finish this, y'all. And it says, critical race theory or CRT is defined by Merriam-Webster's as a group of concepts, not history. Notice it's saying concepts used for so was Wounded Knee a concept of history? All right. Was the Trail of Tears a concept or history? Okay. Was the land grab a concept or history? Was the Devil's Punch Bowl a concept or history? Was the Seminole Wars a concept or history? Okay. Was Masada a concept Well, history was Rosewood, Elaine, Arkansas, the Black Belt here in Chicago, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Was the bloody summer of 1921? Was it 1919? When you destroyed all those black provinces across America that were well-to-do, that were doing better than white places, by the way. Was that all concepts or history? Were the images? Could you put the images up of from Without Sanctuary again, Bob?
The Boston bombing, and I mean the original one. When the police bombed Jake neighborhood.
Yeah. They was dropping bombs out of fucking helicopters on Jake houses.
Shark and gator bait.
Right.
Yeah. Was that concept? Yeah.
Right. African Dodger.
Yeah,
there's all carnival games.
Yep.
Christopher Columbus.
Oh, this is Central Park. How many lakes actually? Was it Lake Rainier? Was it a lake that was actually where towns?
It's like over 40.
And but it's not one. It's dozens of them.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I was going to Minnesota to grab my son, and I always wonder, like, was these really towns? Because a lot of the trees, you just see the top of the trees. You don't see the bottom of the trees, and it's trees. And it's like, and I think about it because it's a bunch of houses. It's like it's a bunch of houses around. Because I remember you talk about how they flooded so many towns.
Yeah.
But just this one, but it's just a lake
right up there near, you know.
You know, and then they got a lot of the lakes going towards, when you first get into Minnesota with the mountains, a lot of those lakes got like tall trees that's coming out of the water.
Exactly.
It like it was a land it once. And then they got a dam over there. They got a dam right there
because
too.
Trees typically don't grow in water.
No.
Right?
I mean, it's a lot of them too. Like, and they tall, big ass trees, but ain't no bottom. It's all underwater. You can just see the tops of the trees.
That is.
I'm sure that they talked about all those towns that were destroyed. I'm sure it's more than what we know.
Oh yeah.
All right, but it says a group of concepts used for examining relationships between race and law and legal institutions of a country, especially the United States. So they don't want you to go. All this happened in the United States. All right, these are Mr. DeSantos. These are not concepts. This was white Christian extremism in the midst of the land of democracy. That's what this is. All right, that's what you're looking at.
Yep.
All right, so that's exactly at its worst or its best, depending on how you're looking at it.
And if you go into some of the history behind some of these images in Without Sanctuary, some of these people did some shit. It's like stole a pie.
Because they was hungry.
Many of them didn't do anything. They just were blamed.
Picnic.
Looked at a woman. They looked at a fine woman. They smiled. Oh, he smiled at me. Huh? That nigga what? And it was done. You're dead. You know what I'm saying?
Or they just went to your neighborhood and decided to hook you up to their pickup truck and drag you up the fucking street.
Because
yeah, that was a fun night.
Because you were the righteous and they wait for you.
See, wickedness don't need a good reason to be wicked.
Hey, 1 John said it best. It says, well, for hating him, because his brother works unrighteous, his own works evil.
That's it.
And that's
Jealous ass.
I mean, but see, how you jealous of somebody because he's doing good?
But here's the thing.
The wicked, the righteousness offends the wicked. That's why we're an abomination to them, and they're
Clean contrary.
But like you said, in the midst of that, they do all this wickedness and this, that, and the other. Then somebody will say, pose for the camera, cheese. And they take pictures of it. They took pictures of it. So there was no shame in their thing. But now they shame.
And now they so great philanthropists.
Right.
Now they worried about human rights and shit on the world stage. They bomb every fucking body, man.
Right.
You know?
And they not talking about giving back nothing that they took.
Exactly.
But let me finish this article. This is almost the end of it. It says the theory is not taught in Florida schools at any grade level right now. According to the bill's analysts, it would prevent CRT from being taught in order to block what is classified as distortion of historical fact events. Is this a fucking distortion that this fucking happened? And that dude was brutally lynched right after they took the picture. After they took pictures of him and whipped him. They whipped his legs and his back, ripped his flesh open, and then he was castrated and lynched shortly after that.
That's it.
That man you see that right there.
Lynches in Missouri.
Okay?
Right.
Just so you know. They shamed, they paraded him around nude. They castrated him, beat him till his legs what looked like a map and his back looked like a map, and then they hung him and burned his body. All right, and that's not a distortion of facts, DeSantis, you piece of fucking shit.
That's what fucking happened.
All right, it says the Florida Education Association of Teachers Union said the law is based on a manufactured political narrative that does not face the real critical issue. It is. Making sure that enough teachers, bus drivers, custodians, and food workers, all right, no matter where we live or what we look like, we all want the best for our kids. Parents are so basically, don't teach the children. Don't let this history come out. And like it has been said, the reason that they don't want these images shown is because you will see. They will actually see their mothers, their fathers, their grandparents.
That's right.
That's the problem. And they do all these images in black and white to make it look like it was done so long ago. A lot of these images weren't that long ago.
Hey, the last picture.
All this was in the last century.
It hasn't even been 100 years.
A lot of this was in the last century. You know, some of these are as early as 60 and 70 years ago, man. You got a lot of 60 and 70-year-old people walking around.
They say 1981.
You know
what I'm saying? That's nowhere. I was born in '88. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So,
when we were going to St. Louis, it was me, Nagia, and Shaquat. We stopped in heading to St. Louis. We stopped in a place called Lynchville. What? Literally spelled like lynch. We went into the gas station.
Lynchburg, they got Lynchville.
We went into the gas station. There was a whole bunch of Edomites hanging out. And it's in the morning time, they're drinking coffee and shit. As soon as we opened the door, the bell rang, they all looked at us, and then they stopped talking, and they got real weird.
You know what was being said.
Exactly.
Are you asking any nigga behind?
No. You know where you at, boy.
30, 35, 30.
And that's what
Where's the nearest town?
Y'all got to be fried shit.
Shemai, real quick.
Color photos came out 1890s.
That's right. That's right. This is lynching. This is from the Washington Post. If you know about Washington Post, as a very respected newspaper and a very respected so-called journalism. This is from August 8th, 2021. Since 2000, there have been at least 8 suspected lynchings of black men and teenagers in Mississippi, according to court records and X. But we've seen since the truth, and that's over 10, 12, 13, 14 years. Of evidences of people being
Alabama.
Because
they still in Alabama.
And then a lot of lynchings they call suicide.
Right.
And motherfuckers, they go on social media complaining and saying, this person wasn't suicidal, this ain't what it was.
I knew him, this is my friend, right, my brother or whatever.
And most niggas don't really kill themselves. That's a rare thing with niggas, man.
Right. That's it. That's very, very rare.
Yeah, Jake deal with shit.
Look, this is 2020. 4 black men were found hanged in 3 weeks. All right, that's suicide. You know what? Let's fuck it, man.
Yeah, just
Get the
found
fuck
a
out
bunch
of here, man.
Let's hang ourselves.
A bunch of dead bodies floating in the
I went
rivers
for
in
church
Chicago
for
too.
hang myself. Oh no, that's the wrong race.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. I got precept. If I may.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 36, verse 12. It says, yeah, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance. And thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Thus saith the Lord God, because they say unto you, thou land devourest up men, and hast bereaved thy nations. You know, so this not going to be happening no more, man. So get your field. Get your field, man. At the end of the day, that would make the Most High and righteous as you if he never came to guide us. He just lets you fucking get away with this shit for as long as we can't do nothing. We understand we can't really physically do anything. The only thing we can do is just be patient.
Yeah,
and that's what we pray for. We pray for patience and revenge.
That's it.
We pray for deliverance.
That's it.
You know, we pray for wisdom and understanding, but don't think that we don't pray for vengeance.
That's right, because here it is. The Most High, like I've been saying recently, you know, wickedness gets its time, like righteousness gets its eternity, man. And so when wickedness gets its time, wickedness is supreme. And they get they supremacy. You know what I'm saying? See, but the thing is, and ain't nothing wrong with somebody wanting to be supreme and ruling. The problem comes is if you're ruling with a way that's not the way of the Most High God in righteousness. See, we want to be supreme too. You know what I'm saying? And have Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and Israelite supremacy because of our way that was given to us. You see, all these other nations, they have their own way. We was talking about it yesterday on the line, and I talked about it a little bit in the lesson that I did last week about our discipline. See, the Most High said that our discipline as Israelites, the special chosen children, He nourishes us with discipline. What's our discipline? Righteousness. All right? The do's and don'ts, like I looked up the word discipline, and it goes into a set of rules and regulations. Now, with the discipline of the way of Esau Edom is the total opposite of the way of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It is these heathen nations, they have different ways and different disciplines in how they live, different one from another. What they have in common is that it's darkness, that it always ends in a downfall and death. You know, the Israelites was given the discipline, the way of life, and the way of righteousness. Right. You know, and that's what we're going to rule with in the kingdom of heaven. So that's what we're about right now. But since we're about that right now, about our discipline, about righteousness, the righteousness of the Most High God, then those who's contrary to that, they gonna hate us. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say that we the hate group, we the domestic terrorists, when we really just about the discipline of the Most High God, the righteousness of the Most High God, which, you know, it leads to life everlasting. See, all these other disciplines leads to death, you know? So we're about the do's and don'ts that leads to life everlasting, man. What you got, Pop?
This is Jeremiah 13 and 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard his spot?
Right, so the Ethiopian has his way, has his order, has his do's and don'ts, his way of living, his discipline. All right, and it says same thing with the animal kingdom. They have their particular look and their way and the things that they do and don't do and their, you know, habitat and where they should be and, you know, all these things, right?
That's right.
So go ahead.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
So those who are accustomed to do evil, that word accustomed comes from the Hebrew word lamad, which means learned in, trained in. They're trained in, learned, made to be evil. But they're not going to sit up here and say, hey guys, we're the evil, and right now we have the rulership right now, and so come on and be like us, evil. No, they're going to say that, oh no, it's good, it's peace, it's love. They're gonna what they say in the movie, evil is good. That's what they're gonna say.
Light
you
and
know,
darkness.
and then they're gonna fool you because they're gonna have some good tenets. They're gonna throw you some good directions up in there. You know what I'm saying? To fool you. That's why the scriptures talk about, oh, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It seemed right because they had a few good directions. They had a few good tenets. But see, we need 100% of life's law to live life. Because once you transgress the law of life, you die.
Hey.
See, we're about the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? We're about the way, the direction that leads to life everlasting. That's what we're about. What you got, brother?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 15. For righteousness is immortal.
For righteousnist, and again, that's our discipline. That's our discipline.
Hey.
That's our rules and regulations. All right? Read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 15. For righteousness is immortal.
Righteousness is immortal. He said he made man to be immortal in an image of his own, you know, likeness, man. You know? And that's what we about. See, but when somebody that got fooled to be about the ways of death, to be about the ways of wickedness, because they in power right now, they in rulership right now. You know what I'm saying? See, but in the time of rulership of the wicked, Nah, we suffer and sigh and cry, and we go through everything that we got to go through to fight against that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because Esau, they trying to obtain immortality through transhumanism, which is synthetic, which is not real, all right, which is fake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They can't obtain immortality because they're wicked. They'll never receive it, and that's why they say in that movie Jupiter Ascending, they said, what's the purpose of having all of this? You fight over this, you fight over that, but we fight over time. All right, because Esau know that they don't have much time. They're not gonna be able to enjoy the things, all right, because it's literally gonna take eternity to really grasp your mind over the beauty that the Lord has actually made, man. All right. The things that are prepared for the righteous, it's gonna take eternity to really to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? When you die, you like this shit over with. You die and you come back. You don't even remember the shit you used to sing. And you know, shit over with.
It's funny that you said that because, like you said, like back in seeking the old path, it's gonna take a minute for food to go back to its
natural
strength,
deal.
its total strength and whatnot. It's gonna take land sabbath to be observed and these types of things for all the nutrients to go back into the ground of those particular crops to even bring the food way back up to where it was.
And it's gonna happen a lot faster than you think, though, because
Earth
America's
gonna-
gonna be completely
Yeah, Max
destroyed. And other places,
The Earth gonna eat too.
It's gonna be right, and then right, and now and plus the other places around the world didn't brutalize their soil and their resources the same way that Babylon did.
And the reason why it's going to come back quicker than what you think is because of fire.
Yep.
Fire is actually a cleansing agent,
Yeah.
and not only cleansing agent, but soon as the fire
The ash
comes
and
through
the
it,
dust
the next group
More
of
earth.
crops that come, it's beautiful, it's plenteous because all that rich fire, nutrients, and ash, all
Going
that
back into
is
the
going
ground,
to.
yes.
So the Lord is doing. He's
Yeah,
doing.
like
He's
with
doing-
forest fires.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You think, wow, so the forest is burning down, but they always grow back better and stronger afterwards.
That's it. So the Lord knows what He's doing, you know, and the earth is going to be renewed with all them bodies going back into the earth without those goddamn what you call it, without them embalmings and all
That was
the
part of the conversation today, was it not?
Yeah.
That blood that's gonna cleanse the land.
That blood, all that's going to come back. Hey, the scripture says somebody want to get it, you can. If not, you can go look it up. But the continual employment, according to the scripture, is going to be burial men.
And the earth,
grave diggers.
the earth-
That's going to be the #1 profession for a while after the Messiah returns.
it's gonna be a good job, high paying job.
It's going to be a good job. Because what? It's a lot of work.
It's gonna be an open door.
It's gonna be a lot of work. Hey, bring your face mask. Bring your face mask.
Bring your mask. Hey, make sure you got your steel boots. Fuck some steel toe boots. You better have some iron boots. You better make sure, hey, safety first. We care about your safety, motherfucker. So like
It's a new movie called Morbius, which is backing you up with your
God.
Trying to make that synthetic.
Yeah, I
trying
peeped it.
to basically come in.
What is
movie.
on?
It just came out. It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Morbius. So
Good.
it's basically they like said, he created a serum to make himself immortal.
Transhumanism.
But turn himself into a
The
vampire.
transhumanism, trying to create immortality, superhuman strength. And this is Psalms 58:10. And it reads, "The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked."
That shit is beautiful. That's beautiful, man. And the minute the Lord, the righteous, hey, the Lord is a righteous power, man. The Lord is actually, like the scriptures say, what happy is he to see the fall of his enemies, man.
Yeah, grab that.
You know?
Let me finish this. It says, this is Psalms 58:10. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
That's a hell of a reward.
Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth. So the Lord is coming back to spill the blood of the Edomites and the wicked. You know, the wicked and the wicked heathen and the wicked among our people.
Join to him, that's right.
All right, you know he said he's not going to greet coming back as a man. He's not gonna come back as this humble man anymore.
What's up,
He's
big
coming back
dog?
in that angelic. I'm telling you, he's coming back in that Thanos of apocalypse form, man. Right?
Rain down fire.
And see, according to America and majority of these countries, they don't even know about real royalty. You look at the
Oh,
royals
hell
over there,
no.
Britain, those not royalty. And that whole system.
And a lot of
Matter
people
fact,
know it. They just have cognitive dissonance, you know, when it comes to it, because that's not the people. You know, the these Edomites aren't dumb. You know, not you know these highly educated Edomites, they're very well aware, but they just support and keep up the lies. But they're very well aware. They look. At this point,
They don't even show their money.
The world knows.
Don't
It's
flex.
like I said, man. They've been making money hand over fist with this Viking shit. And I'm gonna say it every week, man. Look, you are not the Vikings. Nope. You are not the Britons. You're not the Scots. You're not the Irish. All right. You are none of that. Those were all the Portuguese, the Spanish, all those lands, Russia, Slovenia. Those were all ruled over by so-called black people, and the evidence of it is undeniable.
Did you see the?
All right. From the time of the fall of Rome until the resurgence of Esau, Edom, and during the Renaissance.
That's right.
So that 1,000-year period, all of Europe was ruled over by so-called black people.
Yeah.
And the Lord brought the plague, and the plague is what got their numbers low. And then Esau, the wild men, the beastmen, you know, who what they do is they take. I saw the movie The Northman, so you know. I don't want to say too much, but what they do, because this brother, the movie good as fuck, and it's all about vengeance. But what the Northman, but so he's a Viking.
No, he's talking about
What can you view it on?
Where can I see it? Oh, it's in the movies, brother.
Oh, is that?
So the thing is, but the thing is that what they've done is they take the Viking history, all right, of Jacob, of Harold Blatan, which means great black man. Duh.
Wow.
All right. That's what the Bluetooth, that goes back to the word Blatan, which means blah, meaning black, tan, great man, Blatan. All right. And they take the history of the Vikings, and then they take the histories of the wild men, the wildlings. All right, the savage, the blood eating, all the blood sacrifices, and the being naked and fighting naked. And
That sound like Esau.
in this movie, you know, there
Fighting
were
naked.
scenes when they were fighting naked. Yeah, they had to. All right. So what they do is they take the wildman's history and they try to blend it with the real Vikings history, man. And that's what's going on, and that's what they do, and they making money hand over fist, man. Like my favorite show was The Last Kingdom, man, with Uchi the Bremenberg.
Uchi was a motherfucker, boy.
But none of those people were
That shit was a motherfucker.
None of them.
None at all.
But they glory in this lie to keep, and this is what DeSantis doesn't want that sort of thing to come out.
That's right.
You know, Esau loves to glorify and put his face. I had I trained a bunch of actresses for years, man. That was in the theater company, and they were constantly complaining about these so-called white males and the whitewashing of history, and they were touting these roles and these lies. These were actresses talking about.
That's right.
Hey, even how Jake dressed, how they showed the different the coats of arms, how Esau whitewashed it, and they show you how Jake dressed. A lot of the garbs that we wear was royal, and the colors and the fashions that we wore, like in the different coats of arms. Hey, Esau can't dress like that. Hey,
Not only that, there's statues.
right?
There's artistry left of Jacob wearing gold.
Icy as hell, you know what I'm saying?
That would probably, be worth millions. I mean, they were wearing big, thick gold chains, and gold rings, and gold hoops, and then buttons, lots of buttons represented royalty and wealth. All of their garments had gold. They didn't have one or two buttons. They had buttons all the way down, man. Big swords and shields, and then the knights. You can see the garments under their borders, their fringes are bordered of blue under the armor, man.
That shit raw.
Around it, man.
Did you hear what Alex Jones said about the Vikings movie? He was, you know, he snaps him when he gets too very passionate. He's like, and now you have this movie with the Vikings, and they got these black generals, and it's just not true. It's not true. And he just napping as that true. When it's
Having a heart
No,
attack.
and it is true. He just don't want to accept it. All right, it's just like all these, you know, Chicago has a huge Irish population. But guess what? The majority of these people that are running around Irish, they're not the Irish at all. They're Edomites, man. Now among them are gonna, you know, there's always a few that's among them. All right, but for the most part, the majority of them are Edomites, man. Okay, and it just is what it is, man. And so it's this truth that's really hurting them.
Shit,
But you don't get angry at us for telling you the truth. You need to get angry at your forefathers for lying to you.
That's right.
Right? It was your forefathers that fabricated all this history. It's your forefathers that tried to try to fabricate this history. But yet you got a whole room full of artifacts that still exist. And when these artifacts are brought out, now you got a problem with it, man.
Hey, you can even go into the history of the word dukes. You know, they still calling themselves the Dukes, but you go into they the only way to call themselves Dukes. But that goes into Esau. It calls them the Dukes of Edom.
The Dukes of Edom.
And Duke, the word Duke is referred to Esau, Edom, and they call themselves Dukes today because they are the actual the lineage of Esau, Edom, man.
There it is, man, because Jake wasn't referring to themselves as Duke. As a matter of fact, that's the name. Cesare Borgia, one of his aliases is Duke Valentino. Right? He was the Duke of Valentino. All right, so there it is, man. What you got, brother? We're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
This Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. They just been telling on themselves the whole time, man. Even in
So is this concept?
Right.
Or is this actual history?
Right.
These relics, these are actual fucking relics that came from Europe, from Scotland, from Ireland, from Slovenia, from Russia, from Portugal, from Spain.
And they
all right, that's where they're from. All right, and this was during the Dark Ages. So Alex Jones, shut the fuck up. And that was the name I was trying to say yesterday on the line, and nobody could. Yeah. Alex Jones.
Hey, Putin, which proves that is part of history. Putin, in one of his the still shots, somebody caught.
He did that on purpose.
He had the Jake, the Russian icons.
That was a jab at America, and like I said, this because you often heard Putin had on a number of occasions that often spoke of the mistreatment of so-called black people here in America.
He brought it out recently.
Not just once.
Right now, for the record, fuck him because he do it to do a dig at America, but he
didn't say nothing when it was needed.
Exactly. And he got niggas over there that's under his thumb. So because niggas are everywhere. Matter of fact, when I was performing over in Scotland years ago, I saw a Russian ballet company, and this one 6 foot something just taller than my head. And she was fine as hell, just a Jake, and I was like, God damn, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother, because guess what? You didn't actually claim her.
No, I did claim her. I absolutely. And I tried to get it. Did shit. But it just lets you know. And then going back to Russia, Russia has a rich history of so-called Negroes over there and helping them out and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so we over here don't hear about so-called blacks growing up in Russia or in Germany or Scotland.
It's a lot of them.
A lot of Negroes migrated to Russia and lived there around the time of
Russia was advertising.
You get Jake in Ukraine.
Because, you had soldiers who had fought valiantly with Russians, forces and things like that, and they were only coming home to even after World War I. Same thing.
Niggas in Hitler's army.
And it was niggas in Hitler's army. Yes, it was. And they were only coming home to being hung and their houses burned and all kind of shit after they just fought for their country. So we're behind enemy lines. So you have to understand it, man. So it will behoove you, if you have a choice, to never put on a uniform and go defend this white Christian extremism that comes in the form of democracy that really oppresses you and your people, whether you realize it or not, man.
You see all these designs all over these clothes and all these different brands, and all of those go back to so-called Negroes. You know what they do? They take off the black head, the black face, the black body, and then they put shit on them insignias, and then Jakes think that they buying something fresh that some cracker made. When it's actually got our own
these
shit.
are the originals. And that's
a lot of clothes do got that shit on there.
Yeah, a lot of clothes got that. And if you go over to Europe, which I've been over to London and Scotland, you'll see a lot of these emblems on buildings, like in.
And some of them still had the Negroes on them.
Yes,
because I've seen them.
Yes,
I've researched them, and they removed. And it's a ton of stuff still on the internet. But they removed a lot of stuff going back, like 10 plus years ago, man.
Right.
They removed. There was a lot of things we were able to pull up and find that you can't.
Oh yeah,
they was niggas
like crests.
They even fuck with the Bible apps.
Put it on that.
They even fuck with the scripture.
Yeah, so this truth had a profound effect on Esau, man. And then he's been trying to adjust, and he changed. I know he changed things in the Blue Letter and different Bible.
And why would you need to update the Bible app? What's wrong with it? Why you got to keep updating it?
Yeah, exactly. He changed.
You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, the definition of ham in the Zondervan's is now changed.
Right. Now check this. You see this one right here with the black keys right here? This is the papal key emblem that they use today. Now, of course, they got some little more elaborate ones, but this one here is the basic one. Now, look in Nature's Most Color Line, the original one. They took off the black man that was right between the top. All right.
What's it? Which one is it?
The papal keys right here with Saint Peter. And they got St. Peter as a black man.
Oh shit! Yeah, I see it. God,
Right?
yeah.
And this is what Esau does. This is
shit.
They don't know the history, brother. Did you get it?
No, I didn't really.
Saint Peter, that shit crazy.
This one right here, brother.
And if you go look here on the screen now, this is what it looked like now.
They remove it,
and just take it out.
You got to understand, these books,
Crop that out.
the images from this book, all right, came from Donald Fairbairn's book, which was made in 1869. And it's funny because that was the same year that the author of this book was born. So he used the images from Donald Fairbairn's book. All right,
we were accessible then. Yeah. Now you want to get that book? Now go to
Library. No, you can't even Library of Congress. You can't even take this book out unless you're a congressman or a House of Representative member. You have to have a high-ranking American. Yeah, and and they're not. It's not like they're gonna take that and bring it to Florida and show the governor of DeSantis and tell him that, hey, look, this is what it is. It's not like they're gonna do that.
This second Ezra 1650. So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh that shall defend him, that diligently search out every sin upon earth. So this that time we in, man. Yahweh Shai's gonna come defend us. So what's happening? Hey, we accuse you to your face. Alright, see, we're not going behind doors and tricking you and getting no, we telling you what it is you've been going off, we're showing the world, alright, exposing your lies, man. And so our Lord is gonna come and redeem us, man. And Elder Malcolm said something heavy. This truth is really giving me something, man. And he ain't sleeping good at night. That's right. Alright, hey, believe that, brothers. This word, man, is really tearing this place down, man. This Wisdom of Solomon 4. Oh shit, I lost it. I scrolled up. This Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 19. God damn, I gotta find it. You guys are correct?
Yeah, this Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. That dragon represents Esau, Edom. All right, the woman represents the nation of Israel. All right, so it says the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, had a testimony in how Shai. To go back to what we were saying earlier, man. So now that we've departed from evil, we want to follow this damn devil's way of life. Now you're the enemy, and he's mad that we expose him.
That's right. This was Solomon 4 and 16. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living. And like Scripture on point, we are dead to this world, man. Our lives here we have a shot, so we condemning the ungodly. It's our job, man. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living, and youth that is so perfected many years and old age of the unrighteous. For they shall see the end of the wise, and shall not understand what the power in his counsel have decreed of him, and to what end the Lord hath set him in safety. They shall see. So we've been going through all this hill, but the Lord got us, man. We're going to get the salvation or willing with elect. They shall see him and despise him, but the Most High shall laugh them to scorn. Everything you're doing is futile, man. All right, the Lord is laughing at you. And they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead forevermore. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless. And he shall shake them from the foundation. And they shall be utterly laid waste, and be in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. And when they cast up the accounts of their sins, they shall come with fear, and their own iniquities shall convince them to their face.
There you go.
So your own sins are eating you up. That's why he put the policies in place. You can't teach this. They fucking hurt. Their conscience is torn. They ain't having no good sleep. They having nightmares. They tortured. All right, they probably in that bitch like on oh shit, what's the movie with Crazy K? All right, damn, what's the movie?
Oh, Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood. They like Crazy K when he was finna get put to death. He started seeing all the murders he did.
Yeah.
He was going through it, man. He was tormented. Esau was dealing with that, man.
Hey,
Tormented.
and his pride got in the way, and that's why he got destroyed in that fucking movie. Cause he couldn't accept. it.
And that's why Esau finna come down with that wrath when they come that Crazy K spirit. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a
Yeah, man. I'm gonna put to death.
Yeah, all right, go ahead and read that last scripture. All right, Keith, we gonna read the scripture.
We gonna close out on your scripture, Jeremiah 6.
She couldn't help herself.
And Jeremiah, it's on point though. In Jeremiah 16:19. Oh Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And that's 100%.
Yeah, and that's all that false history, you know. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Abba,
Abba, Abba.